Mike Wang in a new article breaks down a ton of stuff from badge system to improve defense, signature animations, play calling, and accessibility. We're going to drop it all here, but if you want to just read the article, go down below in the comments and check it out for yourself. With that out of the way, let's get into it. You're going to be watching the pro play in action compared to the actual NBA. You can see the animations that they're doing. Shout out to everybody that's been showing love on the community, been hanging out a lot on Twitter, aka X, and just want to give everybody a shout out in the space that we've been talking pretty much every night. Shout out to you guys. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into it. First and foremost, the big news is about the badge system. Some big changes are coming. Not everything has been revealed. It was more like a teaser, and I'm going to showcase a piece of the article so you can see it for yourself, and I'm going to explain it first and then read pieces of it as well. So Mike Wang basically says that the new play style is going to be molded by you, the player, on the fly. Basically, it's going to reflect your badges and moves. So for example, what he said was, if someone does a spin move a lot, they're going to see more stability improved over time for that spin move. Now, this is tied to the badges and the overall experience for the player. They haven't broke down that into detail. I'm sure they will soon enough get into more gameplay and break down exactly what they meant. Speculation is that the badge system will go back to something like grand badges, where you have to do specific things to unlock it. Nowadays, if I shoot a lot of shots, I can get my badge points. But with this new system, it might be changing that, adding some special mechanic that it either just an in-game momentum, which would be very interesting, or the old system, whereas I have to do a specific spin jumper to unlock that specific badge for that ability. So the question is, are they going to revert to an old way, or they did something totally new, and how that's going to work? Or maybe they're mixing both and all of them. We do have the core badge system as well. Some people love it, some people hate it. Let me know what your thoughts about that. But for me personally, I'm perfectly fine with something totally new. And this is super interesting. As you can see in the article, he breaks down tons and tons of stuff. But I want to get into a couple of other aspects that are very critical as well. So he talks about defense, but he talks about how collision defense and the ability of getting it correct, right? So it has to feel correct, meaning if you contest properly, you should be able to stop a play. Same thing with if you're creating the space, you do a hop jumper, a hop step into the paint, you get some space and you can get an easy dunk or layup, and that should go in if you have that skill. So I think this is important to know, because there's no in between. There's always a thing about like, hey, if I contested it good enough, that should probably miss. Not all the time, because there's NBA players are very skilled. So it's just that idea that they're working on it and they understand they need to improve it. I think that's good. Okay, with that out of the way, they talk more about the signature animations, specifically, for example, Joker. Replicating him is very difficult. Is something that he noted, aka there's a bunch of players who are just very specific from the way they play, as we watch the pro play aspects to break down exactly what that is. With that out of the way, for the sim heads, play calling has been simplified. Something that I really like is they have this thing where it's your favorites. You can put 16 different play calling aspects on the buttons. So you're going to be able to just hit a button, go into your favorites, pick out of the 16 things you want. It can be just as simple as a pick and roll. It can be a full on aspect, and there's more. They haven't told all the details, so I don't want to give false information, but the point is 16 slots to select your favorite play calling aspects. That is very cool. And they confirmed something that I actually was extremely excited about and thought, wow, this is kind of crazy that they've even doing it just now on a tweet from Mike Wang himself. He said, Dazar, one of the developers for the AI team, and the whole team worked on the new motion freelance offense for Sim Nation for 2K24. Basically, you're going to be able to call a dynamic scenario where the AI will actually do smart actions. So if you know, sometimes you'll get on and the AI will just stand around and just look at you. And now they can do things like, for example, cutting to the basket, setting an off-ball screen, you know, trying to backdoor in any way, do anything that they can to get open. And that's something that a lot of players would like. Personally, I play both online and sim basketball, so it's important for me to be able to have that as a dynamic feature in the game. So we gonna see how that plays. It's gonna be a day one test for me right away. Easy test, fun one. Excited that they're actually improving that system. And then last but not least, there's accessibility aspects. So making it easy for people who are just trying to get on the game. They put it on rookie mode and they can go from there. And it's not gonna be too difficult or extreme. And I think this is cool. I know guys like myself, you know, the sweaty guys are like, make it skill-based, make it skill-based. I'm honestly, I try to be non-biased when I do the videos or when I give my, my input. But the truth is, that's how I am. I prefer skill-based stuff. I think that the community will adapt and the top players will be showcased, and every game should do skill-based mechanics. But accessibility actually means people who are handicapped, somebody who's deaf, right? Making the controller vibrate when they're gonna shoot, for the right timing, something that they added. People don't realize that's for accessibility. You know, the shot clock's going down. Is your remote shaking? Okay, wait a minute, maybe I gotta work on that. So there's a lot of little dynamics that they can do for disabled people to have the accessibility. Now, it's not just for disabled people who are really not good at basketball. Mike Wang was explaining, somebody new to basketball can come in, put it on rookie, hit one or two buttons and get a good shot off. And that is the example of what I think can be very fun and cool with them considering the big community within the accessibility aspects. And that's pretty much the rundown on the news today so far. It is the afternoon. You know, sometimes they'll tweet at night, so I'll keep you guys updated, post up a short or even just Twitter. If you want to follow me on social media, man, I stream a lot, but I also am on heavy duty on social media. Check out the links in the description. You know, we want to try to bring you guys nothing but the best for the year. I've been really excited. I think this is going to be one of the greatest 2Ks possibly. You know, a lot of good things already exist for next gen, and the game feels better as far as overall, for example, latency online and things like that. So if they can get the gameplay perfect, we can have ourselves a great time. So rock out with me. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.